Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Hardware Despair. My name is Ryan, and we are playing Dwarf Fortress. This is episode number 2 of our playthrough, so let's do this. Now, as you can see, I'm zoomed out of here a little bit. I'm going to use my bracket buttons to zoom in and out on the map, and I want you to pay attention down in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, look at that. I've added a little program that will show you what keyboard buttons I'm hitting. I hope that helps. It's not too distracting. If anybody doesn't enjoy it, let me know. But I think this will help a little bit. You can kind of see as I maneuver. You'll see I'm using the WASD keys there. But, of course, the cursor now is used a lot more in this game, but it's still going to be helpful because as we kind of learned last episode, when you go into the workshop, there are kind of what you would call, I guess, hotkey strings. So if you want to do, like, what were we doing? Farm plots. It was workshop, which is O. And then we would go with farming, which is F. And then we were doing farm plots, P. So if we wanted to hurry up and do a whole bunch of these, we could do OFP over and over again. And you'll see, you'll see it pop up now. Anyway, let's move on. So our little colony barely got up off its feet last episode. We were just really spent a lot of time just kind of chatting about controls and stuff and how to execute what we want in the game. And that's really a lot of what Dwarf Fortress is all about, learning how to manipulate things. But once you do, it's a really fantastic simulation. So deep. So right now I've got a bit of an issue. So let's address this. I can't figure out why it's telling me I have no seeds for plump helmets, or for that matter, dimple cups. Because we should, right? Now, I know from experience, and I've also been watching the Nuke Room tutorial, and he's just talked about how when you cook with the dimple cups, or any kind of herb or plant for that matter, you lose the seeds. When you make beverages with them, it's not a problem. You'll get seeds back. But if you cook a meal with plump helmets, you don't get any seeds from that. So the farmers can be left empty-handed if your hungry dwarves eat all the plump helmets. But I'm convinced that's not the case. So I'm not sure, but let's go look at our stockpile. Well, actually, hold on. Let's go to the surface because our stockpile's not built yet. We're still using this wagon. So here's our stuff. Spider silk. Persimmon. I swear. Oh, tower cap. Alder. Black cap. I'm just looking for anything that says seeds now. Got thread here. We're almost to the end. Boy, I didn't see it. I swear we brought some. It actually wouldn't say seeds. It would say spawn, I believe. But it's hard to read because a lot of it's cut off here. Well, that's that's a problem. But what we can do... There's a way to set it so that your kitchen will never use plump helmets. And they'll just use like meat and other vegetables and stuff. But not the stuff you want to, keep redoing over and over. So what I'm going to do, first of all, we need to actually set some plants to probably be picked now, like a whole lot of them. Actually, I want to avoid going over the river. I don't want anybody to drown, so let's go up a Z level. Let's set a bunch of these plants up here to be harvested. Did we get them? Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I think we're good now. Just want to make sure we got plenty of them. It's very important to get these in because now we can make, hopefully we can get some seeds and stuff from these, but I'm not sure. So let me get that sorted out. Okay, so I did realize exactly what's happening with our farms here. That is the dimple cup and the, what is it? Plump helmets are already planted. So they're just super fast. The farmers have already planted it. And I can tell that because, for one thing, here's the list of all current dimple cups in the colony, or I guess actually it's what's in this farm plot. So if I click this one, you'll see it disappears. So some of these farm plots are just vacant because I just made too many of them, more than we needed. But this one, for instance, has all the dimple cups in it. And if I go down to this one, it's got all the plump helmets in it. And I know that. I figured that out because when I go to this, it says, and I click it, it says this is plump helmet spawn in farm plot, and I can view it again. So that's exactly what's going on. So we're good. I was freaking out and panicking over nothing. The seeds have all actually been planted, so that's wonderful. Perfect. Now I'm still going to try and figure out how to Set it so their kitchen won't use plump helmets or dimple cups either. That's just for beverages. We're going to do hunting and other stuff for the kitchen. Food is not as important as drink is for the dwarves. So you got to get your drinks under control. So I want to figure out that option, and I can't really remember. It's probably under work orders here. All right, no more need. Now, before I start playing around with work orders, one of the first things we really need to do is set our administrators here. The nobles is not an issue. We don't have nobles yet. We will eventually, probably, if the colony survives. But we do need to promote some people so we can actually manage work orders and stuff like that. Keep track of how much supplies are in the colony. So earlier, and a lot of these slots are going to be filled by our 2 miners. Now we know the chief medical dwarf. When I go back, I'll click the plus button to add a dwarf here, and it's going to tell me anybody who has relevant skills. This guy right here, he's the one I set as our chief medical officer when I was designating skills in the embarkations early on. So the next one we'll do is the manager. That's the expedition leader. This guy's going to fill a lot of roles here. We're not going to worry about military commander, sheriff, or hammerer yet. A hammerer, just in case you're wondering, is someone who administers justice. So if a dwarf commits a crime and they're ruled guilty, the hammerer will come and hammer them as punishment. Or they might get thrown in jail or whatever. But broker we do need. We'll need a broker so we can trade with anyone who comes along. Expedition leader, that's going to be him. Like I said, this guy's going to wear a lot of hats. Bookkeeper, yes. Also the expedition leader. So this guy's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. Messenger, I honestly don't know what messenger is. I'm not sure if that's new or what. What does it say? Members of... No, it doesn't pop up anything. I wonder if I can take him out of there. Oh, we exited the screen accidentally. Hold on. No, this is it right here. So nobles. That's okay. I'm not sure what messenger is. That's new to me. It might have been in the base game, but I don't remember it. Anyway, we've got what we need. Now, as we'll look over here at the red highlights, these are requirements. What your nobles / administrators will require from you. Right now, the only thing that's lit up red are the office. That's what this designates. If we look up here, it says for the manager, no study, no quarters, needs meager study. So quarters aren't super important, but the study is. He can't do his job without a study. And that study I've actually got all laid out right here. That's what these little rooms are for. We're going to have a couple of extra offices. We'll put a table, a chair, and then we'll designate it as the zone for his study, and he'll be satisfied. But we're just waiting on him and his buddy to mine it out, which is okay. I haven't actually even unpaused the game yet. So let's do that now. Let's see what happens, and we'll go down a level. It's good to know that we're set. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to pause it real quick because there was a whole reason for setting the administrators. I completely blanked on it. Was to try and figure out work orders here. Let me look through this. What is this here? No, I don't think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and look through everything, and when I come back, hopefully I will have figured that out. If I can't, then we'll talk about it some more. Okay, so I found it pretty easily. I tell you, everything is laid out so well in the Steam version. It's really great. There's a lot there, or I should say there's a lot here, but don't get overwhelmed by it. It's a very steep learning curve, but it's really nicely done. So over here it says open labor menu, hotkey Y. Let's do that. Now this is actually part of the same overall menu as the nobles and administrators we're just looking at. So if we go to labor again, we'll go through the other ones at some point. Look, here's justice, like I was talking about just a moment ago. But the labor has a sub-tab labeled kitchen. So we go to that, and you'll see ingredient type, fruits, vegetables, seeds, drinks, meat, fish. Now, okay, we want fruits, vegetables, and leaves because that's what we're worried about, plump helmets. We have questionably 40. It's a question mark because the manager doesn't have an office to count stuff yet. So we have roughly this many. We have an option here. These are both lit up. So it's going to use this for for food and for drinks. We don't want that. I'm turning the food off. Because as I said earlier, you won't get seeds if it's prepared in a kitchen, only if it's done in drinks. The rest of these I don't care about. Cabbage, they can make food out of that. That's fine. Yeah, so that's what we're worried about right now. And that was exactly what I was looking for. Now we can exit out and unpause the game finally. So what we should do too actually is work on setting a work order for these folks so they'll do stuff like milk animals, not just occasionally or once and then like be done with it, but they'll do like a certain amount. We'll go through that shortly. I'm going to let a little bit of time pass because we actually do need this office built. Where is it? F4. Yeah, so I've got it set to F4. So we need this mined out. Let's see, what's the priority level on this? Oops, I'm sorry. I'm so used to scrolling in and out with my mouse wheel. You'll see me probably do that a lot. So if I look at the priority, I bet you it's all set to... Ooh, that's set to a 6. Tell you what, let's bump this up. We're going to get one of these... we're going to get one of these done real quick. Now... I goofed this part up, so what I'm going to do is right-click, go to the eraser, and get rid of that little piece. That's what we want right there, just that. All right, you can see, as I mentioned in the first one, if you open the advanced options down here under mining, you can set priority levels for whatever mining you want. So that's handy. Now, if we unpause it, we should see them. Yep, immediately come down here and start working. There they are. You can see where their prioritized work is because it's going to be flashing. That's what that symbolizes. And as soon as the second one can squeeze in there, they'll open that up real quick. Now, let's go to, I think it's F3 level. I should probably start naming these, but yeah, so this is the stockpile. This is going to be a stockpile room, and this is the basically where our workshops are going to go. So this is the next thing I'm going to start working on. Stockpiles are really nice and easy. We just go down to the stockpile. We say, yes, we want to start painting it. I'm going to set this whole room one big stockpile. And now I'm going to accept it. After that, we are going to turn off wood. Actually, I want to go to all. But how do I disallow something? Whoops, I just closed it. Go back to it. I want all, but I don't want wood. Oh, I guess maybe it'll have to be custom. Yeah, you just need to do custom. So we'll just turn off wood. Oh, is this it? I'm not sure. Hold on. Give me a second to play around with the window here and figure out how to turn off the wood. Oh, okay. It's super simple. I just figured it out right away. You just hit none right here. So it's showing us the list of all possible woods like in the world. And so we just hit none and that eliminates that one. Okay. Easy peasy. It's not, you can't click this though. This will not work. But anyway, so that stockpile has everything with wood. Now, the reason I did that is just because we have a wood stockpile right here. We will bring one in eventually, but I'm looking forward in time thinking about, well, most of the wood's going to be used for making charcoal. So I'll set up like a whole wood burning section of the base, and that's where we'll store the wood in the near future. I just don't want to clutter this up with unnecessary stuff. And we can see that they're, oops, sorry, trying to zoom in again. We can see that they're instantly starting to move stuff, which is great. Because the goal is to really get everything indoors. We want to deconstruct this wagon. I don't want this sitting here anymore. We want to get rid of all this stuff and deconstruct it. You can get a little bit of wood out of the wagon. Now, our animals are probably the next thing. So let's go to the farm level, which is F2. And this is all set, but I like to keep my chickens nearby, like down here basically in this general area. So I'm going to set up some mining real quick. I will do some advanced. I'm going to drop it down to a 3. We'll extend the hallway just a little bit. And I think, yeah, I'll build, not like that. But I will build the chicken coop, basically is what this is. And we got turkeys and stuff too, so it's not just chickens. But we'll build this like this. Boom. Okay, that'll be the door. And yeah, that's fine. One door is good. One door is good. We don't need them to dig this, so don't have them waste their time. Perfect. So they'll get down here and work on that pretty soon. Probably very soon. Yep. Awesome. So I'll set a zone, and once we get some workshops built, I can get like nest boxes laid, and we can start breeding chickens and stuff. So speaking of workshops, let's go back here. Ah, yes, they finished digging this little area out. This is going to get expanded in the near future, but for right now, sorry, it's hard to center. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is set a couple workshops, some of the most essential ones, and we'll get a couple of our guys working. So workshops. And the first one is going to be carpentry. Boom. Let's see here. I'll probably put it right there for now. Now, what do we want to use? Well, the closest thing is distance 4. It's only 4 distance away, and that's siltstone. Sounds good to me. So we've got siltstone carpentry shop up and running. Let's go for a, not carpenter, but stoneworker. There it is. Boom. We'll set that down. Also, siltstone's good. So we unpause it, and there we go. One thing I want to talk about is, just while we're waiting for this to get built here, my embarkation, a couple of things I think I should have brought was barrels. A couple of barrels at least. Barrels are easy to make, but a couple to start with is good. And also soap. Soap's one of those items that you really got to go through a whole process to make, but it's very helpful to have it at certain times, like if a guy gets injured or whatever, you know, you want some soap, but it's really a process to craft it on your own. So that's an early game thing I probably would have built if I could have. I'm sorry, not built, but brought with me on the embarkation. I would have spent a few extra points for a little bit of soap. But that's just a personal preference. Like I've said in the first episode, I'm not an expert, you know. We're going to get through this together. It's a great learning experience for both me and the viewers out there. All right, so it's fairly obvious this stockpile is not big enough. What are our miners doing? I want to set up a hotkey so I can just zoom in on my boy right here. I don't want to see him. I just want to see him. Here he is. Okay, so he's working over here on, this is our dumping zone eventually. Oh, good man. They've already got this set. Okay. So real quick, let's set up a pen pasture. Boom. Accept it. And we will add hen. I'm going to add the roosters and ducks and the turkeys. Good, good, good. So that, just double checking now, making sure. Yep. All right, so those are in place. The only thing we don't really have in place yet are the cats. So let's do that next, actually, before I forget. We're good. We can just escape out of that. Escape. So we should unpause it and see them start to move the chickens and stuff down here. We'll put a door on this too so they don't wander away. But I just want to get confirmation that some dwarves are doing that. And we'll come check back on it in a second. So the cats are going to live in our stockpile. Yeah, you can already see here, if I zoom in a little bit, there's some bugs here, swarm of flies. We want the cats to like hunt vermin and stuff, which kind of accumulate around your foods and stuff. So I'm going to set another zone for pen pasture. Pen pasture is all these the animals, even if they're not technically like pasture animals. It's a pen, basically, a kennel. Okay, so this is the zone. Accept it. And we'll expand this as we expand the stockpiles too. We'll get more cats. All right, now we're going to add the cats. Boom. Good to go. They're in there. They should be. I don't think you need to confirm it, right? They'll just wander in there on their own. Yeah, they look good. There should be a third one unless he got killed already, which is possible. I mean, animals like these guys hang around on the surface. It's very possible they could get hunted or something. All right, I'm going to set up another bit of mining here because this is just not big enough. Okay. I'm fairly certain, and I don't remember, I know in RimWorld it's true that if you go too big, the roof will cave in. I'm fairly certain that's true here, but I'm hoping this is like width-wise, it's safe enough to go like a super length distance. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if we keep it a certain width, but we can go an infinite length, or at least, you know, as far as the actual screen will allow. Not infinite, but you get it. All right, so let's go. And let's go up to F2 level. Oh, look, there they are. Oops, there they are, placing our chickens in here. So we're going to the workshop. Perfect, they've got them built. Carpenter. We'll do this first. I'm going to set... Yeah, we'll just add new task. I want nest box first. We want a lot of stuff, but that's what I'm looking for. Hatch cover we're going to make out of stone, but that'll probably be the next thing I get. Where is it? Not animal trap. Huh. I have to look for it a little bit more. There's barrels. Let's make a few barrels real quick. Okay, and let me look in here. Maybe it's a stone only, but I don't think I recall that being the case. We do need some doors. And we'll need some tables too. We need a lot of like stone stuff for sure. Throne is a chair. I don't see it here either. Huh, that's weird. I swear it's not like some special item. I'll find it. I'll find it though. Let me add a few tables here. I'm going to add a bunch of stuff, and I'll also really try and locate the nest box. Okay, so I haven't totally located it just yet, but I think I know what's going on. I don't think it's in the carpenter or the stone workshop. I think it's going to be under workshops, and I believe it's in, where is it? I just had it. Crafts. I think it's the crafts. The Crafts Dwarf workshop. So I'm going to extend this. I've got the miners working over here on priority number 1 for this, and as soon as we get this opened up, I'm going to throw down a craft dwarf. Yeah, it just came to me. Yeah, I think there's probably other kinds of workshops out there. So I stopped searching through the same menu over and over again. Okay, looks like, oh, I was going to say we do have 3 cats now. Good, good, good. I thought we only had the 2, but we've got 3. Good, good, good. Let's go to the surface real quick. Animals are good. Look at all these. This says dense meadow grass, pear leaves. Oh, these are leaves. Beautiful. How lovely it is out here. What was this? Just standing around. Oh, that's one of the farmers. That's why. Let's check out our farms. How are these doing? Okay, the plumps are still growing, I guess. Takes a little while. Takes a little while. That's okay. No worries. Now, let's set a zone for this. This is a dumping zone. Do we have one of those? It's pretty important, especially as you start butchering things. Where the heck is it? Bedroom. Dungeon. No, that's not it. Garbage dump. There it is. Couldn't find it. Alright, yeah, so you just want a garbage dumping zone right here. We'll accept it. And it should just be set for whatever. Yeah, like bones and refuse and stuff. But bones are actually handy, so I do like to keep it indoors. So what I'll do eventually is I'll put a door here, and the miasma that releases in here, as long as no dwarfs are spending a lot of time in here, won't bother anybody, as long as we keep that door sealed. If we left it open, then the miasma would spread into the hallway and down and up the stairs, so that can be a problem. But that's why I left this nice kind of narrow passage and with space for a door. Also, we need a hatch cover. That's something I actually forgot. Let's see here. All right, he's still working. Oh, perfect. Now we can add a new task. So give me a hatch cover, buddy. Yep, perfect. And if you want, you can come down here and change what it's going to be made out of and stuff. But it doesn't matter as long as it's some kind of stone. I don't care. It'll all serve the same purpose. All right, this is looking good. Let's lay down that craft dwarf as soon as they open up this little section. I'll get them to, I think, do a little door there too. It's probably a good spot. Okay, they left just those little 3 things. They're probably going to get a drink or something real quick. No worries, no worries. Let's see how the carpenter's doing. Now, here's one thing I wanted to touch on. So when I embarked initially in the first episode and I removed a bunch of stuff, I talked about one of the things they always include are crutches and splints. And they cost quite a few points too, because your embarkation, all the stuff is based on a point system. These are quite costly, relatively speaking. And I always take them off because it's so easy just to get your carpenter to make like 3 of each at the beginning. And then that's it. You don't have to worry about it until you get a whole bunch of people injured or something. And you just make a chest, stick the chest in your hospital, and the doctor will come collect these and put them in his chest. So it'll be in the hospital ready to go. And it saves so many points on embarkation. So that's just another little thing I like to do with the embark. And I didn't show that initially, so I'll mention it now. All right, so this is open. Let's go ahead and set down another workshop. We're looking for the crafter man. All right, it's not perfect, but I don't care. We can move things later. Siltstone it is. Let's get down here. Now, I can't actually remember in my head if I just forgot about the craft dwarf or if that's a skill that will cross over. Or did I set one of these guys as a crafter? Man, I might have screwed up. We might have to wait until a dedicated crafter comes by. But I'm going to set the work order. Or, I'm sorry, a task. So let me see here. What's in this menu? It's a bunch of interesting stuff like instruments, a lot of things that are really just for for trading, I should say, like earrings, crafts, bracelets. Oh boy. Maybe it's not in here either. I don't see it. I'm going to look through this real carefully though, and I'm determined to find the nest box. Okay, so I located it. Here we are at the craft dwarf. We go into it. We'll add new task. Now, you've got the whole list of these things, but just ignore those for now. See where it says rock, wood, bone? We're going to go to, we'll make them out of wood. Now, this opens up a whole new list of stuff, okay? So it's under... There it is, right there. Make wooden nest box right there. And there's some other really handy stuff in this too. So the craft dwarf station is very important, just as important as the stone and a carpentry station. But you've got to look for it. It's in a sub menu basically. So we're going to make, I don't know, I'll make like 6 of these, I guess. Oh God, I have to go into the sub menu each time. All right, sub-menu. Oh, I just made it out of rock, though. Well, I don't care. So I think what's going to happen is the wood guy, the carpentry guy, will come over here to this place and make the wooden one. And then the rock guy will come over here and make this one. I think that's what's going to happen. Let's do wood. We got lots of wood. We also have lots of stone, but at this point it doesn't matter. Let's do this. Oh. So I was bragging about how well it's set up. There are still some things which I'd love to see, like hotkeys for this, or the ability to just add a number to it. Like, can't I just say a certain number? I can change the priority. I can set a higher priority. I can tell it to repeat it infinitely or indefinitely, but it'll do that until it runs out of the material. I can suspend it or I can cancel it, but I cannot add a number to it. I can't tell it to make like 10 of these. Now, I know that there is a way to do that. You have to go into like the work orders and stuff and set that up. So we're going to get to that, I promise. It's just, I wish it was available like right here. Like right here. Should just be, yep, do 10 of them. But it's not. We'll do it the hard way. That's the definition of Dwarf Fortress, I'll tell you what. But we're making progress, serious progress now. I'm actually pretty confident, especially once we get this hatch cover on, I'm going to feel a lot better because we'll be able to lock things down. Oh, look, our wagon's almost emptied. I still see the anvil sitting there, though. Why don't I see that listed here? Oh, that's weird. It's there, but I don't see it. All right, well, let's, what is it? Remove the building. Yeah, let's deconstruct the wagon. I hope we don't lose this anvil. Better be brought downstairs. Yeah, it will be, I'm sure. Anvil's another one of those things you have to bring with you on Embark. You don't have to. You could like wait till the trader shows up and stuff, but that's a pain in the butt. Now, speaking of trader, I just remembered this as I was saying it, and I'm glad I did. We need to slap down a trade depot super quickly. So I'm going to do that there. Yeah, and it needs to be somewhere where the trader can actually get to. So it can't be underground, in other words. Unless you're going to like dig a tunnel down there or something, or a trench, which is just a pain. So we'll just make it out of wood. That's fine. And now when a trader shows up, we can send a broker up here to do that. If you don't have one of these, then the trader will just go right past you. And you will miss him for the season. So it kind of sucks. Get that up. That's a critical building. I'm glad I remembered it early on. So dump needs a door. Do we have doors? And how do I place them? Furniture. Door. Let's see here. Oh, yes, I do. All right, siltstone. We'll just put that door there. Very good. Awesome. Oh, and I want a door in here on the chickens, too. So let's do that again. Door. See, this is where you really need to start, like, memorizing hotkeys if you want it to just go smoothly. So that would be P, R... Select material, keep building. Okay, very good. I mean, it's still a process, but it's doable. I can work with this. All right. So now one thing we've been kind of neglecting is this. I did set the table and chairs. Let's see if they've been built. No, I don't want the dwarf. I don't want the rock. There we go. Splint. Okay, he's still working on tables and chairs, so we'll wait for that. That's what we need for our manager's office, so we're just waiting. Just chilling out. This guy's making the nest box. I love to see that. Awesome. Things are in progress. Nest box. Let's go look at this level. Oh, look, actually, real quick. See how quickly they got that built? That's awesome. All right, so we've got our farmers over here. That's the still. I'm going to get them to brew drink from plant. Just do it forever for me. For now, I'm not sure how many plants we have, but now the farmer's workshop, let's go ahead and milk. Milk animal. Do forever. And they'll just do that until they run out, then the order will drop off. But do we have something for making cheese? Yeah, there it is. Make cheese forever. Okay, cool. Now, I should probably put a stockpile down here. Maybe I'll extend this room a little bit. Give it a little space for a stockpile. Boom. So we can put we can put eggs down here, and we can put some of the brew and stuff and the cheeses. So that'll help. That'll help minimize the travel time for a lot of the dwarves. And you can do a whole stockpile system, like designate that this one only take from a certain stockpile and only bring it to another one. So you can really micromanage it down to where the last little bit goes. Do we already have some babies down here? What is this? Oh, there are worms in here. Interesting. Maybe that's what the chickens are eating. There's a snail in there. Well, that's kind of cool, actually. I guess that means that the chickens and the gobblers are all fed nicely. This room actually seems a little small for them. We'll work that out later. Let's get the nest boxes down first. He's working on the last one. Beautiful. Yeah, I should have made him out of wood because now he's having to stop making chairs and stuff to come over, but that's okay. Live and learn. Also, I'm noticing that, see, this dwarf right here is asleep. Yeah, so we need to really work on, not that level, this level should be a high priority next because we're going to make some beds and make this just a big old barracks for them. Initially, we'll have a barracks, but I will start doing like their individual rooms and stuff later. But all in due time. Sleeping in beds, like they'll sleep there on the floor, not the end of the world. If they don't have drinks, then they're going to freak out and start like killing each other. So yeah, there's a priority list, and you got to figure out what it is. But beds are not really that super high. Not just yet. They will become higher and higher as time goes on, but right now they're okay with it. Same with like a chair and a table. They don't need to drink and eat in a nice little bar area, but they will want to eventually, and if you don't address that, they'll get more and more pissed. All right, so we got a bunch of dwarves right here. What are they doing? Not sure. They might be idle. Is there a good way to see how many dudes are idle right now? There used to be, okay, is this it? See, if we got a list of population here, 7 total. We can see their happiness level. They're pretty moderate. See our wealth. I just want to see, what these guys are doing. I don't know. There's so much information. Sometimes it's just overload, Okay, overview, skills, personality, thoughts. Oh, well. They might just be idle, but we'll get them something to do. If they've got picks in their hands, they shouldn't be idle. They should be down here mining. No worries. Let's focus on the crafting and stuff that's happening. So, we'll get this all extended. They could just be up there drinking or something. I'm not sure. But looking good. Looking good. I want to get this extended. Okay, good. They're mining again. Awesome. So, let's come down here. We should have at least one table and chair and a door. So let's place those and set this little place up. Chair, I'll just put it right there. Yep, we got a throne. Perfect. Furniture, table. Thank you. Beautiful. All right, just a door. Oh my gosh, this feels like such an accomplishment. uh, where's the doors? You can lose them. No, it's under its own thing, duh. All right, boom. Good to go. So I'll put a door here for the hospital, but what we really need are a bunch of beds and that chest that I was talking about. And as I mentioned in last episode, this is going to be probably not for today, maybe tomorrow's episode, but we're going to build our underground water reservoir right here, I think. So we'll work on that. And we're going to achieve that by tapping into the river that's right above us here. So instead of going for aquifers, or a lot of people like to go down and dig into the caverns where there's water, I prefer to just tap the river on the surface, and that's it. If I can set it up the way that I used to, it'll be real quick and easy and very safe for the dwarves. So that's what we'll work on. Probably next one. We'll use some mechanisms for that and stuff. That reminds me, I should probably lay out another workshop here real quick. Let's go into workshops. Mechanic. That's what we want. This is not super, super important, but it is something we'll want eventually. So I'm going to lay that down. Let's also slap down a couple other workshops that are like that we don't necessarily need immediately, but we're going to want them when we need them. So I would probably say the bower is one of those, and definitely the metalsmith. Yes, get that anvil placed in there. Perfect. Gorgeous. Get it out of the stockpile, you know. And let's see, we'll do the bower. The ashery is not that important. Jeweler is, if you really want to start doing some serious trading and just like make some like ridiculously expensive stuff, jeweler is good. Also, too, we haven't covered it, but you're going to basically need at least one of each workshop in your colony at some point. You don't necessarily need a magma forge as long as you have a regular forge, but you need a selection of every type, because dwarves will go into a mood where they're struck by like the desire to just create this beautiful gem or this beautiful axe or this beautiful sock, and it becomes a legendary item. We'll go through that when it happens, but like I say, eventually you'll need the workshop for every type. Anyway, that's good enough for now, so let's let things go. Let's move on. Okay, so this is extended. Now I'm going to select... Yeah, no, I want the stockpile. Perfect. And we're going to paint it. Beautiful. I just extended my stockpile there. Perfect. Just what I want. Now, see, yeah, we do have a bunch of barrels, but they're all full, which is good. There's a couple empty ones. Okay, the carpenter shop is empty. I'm going to set a bunch of beds now. That's going to be important. Okay, so I got the workshop set up really nicely. Just a whole list of beds here. We got more rock hatch. Well, the hatch cover's on the way. The tables, chairs are coming. I got some blocks set up just so we have those around in case we need them for something. They're good crafting material for certain purposes. And also I got some cups set up here for wood. Now, one thing I wanted to show off was with this crafting here is this is where the bone comes into play. So you'll probably see a lot of people use bone carvers, and it's a very smart way to go, because otherwise bone gets wasted. It just sits around. And if you have somebody who specializes in bone carving, stick them on the craft dwarf shop, have them make bolts for your crossbows. They can make crafts to sell. They can literally make like armor and stuff out of bone. So this is a great, I don't know what a bone gem would be, but they can make bone gems and stuff. And there's literally like useful stuff here too. It's, you know, it's one way that you can maybe outfit a training group or regiment. I don't know, maybe you just sell it all, but bone is a good way to go. And I feel like there's other stuff you can carve out of bone too. It's possible some of these other workshops might have the options, but maybe not. Maybe it's just a craft dwarf, but bone carving's very nice. Also, you can get beekeepers. Bees are great. We will eventually get some bees. As long as there's some on the surface we can collect and harvest, I think we can, yeah, capture some of our own. Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, we've got lots of wood here, I think, still. But I wish these horses and mules wouldn't just wander around. We do have a pen here, but maybe it's not big enough for them. Let's see here. Where's the pen marker? Yeah, I've got this kind of overlapping some stuff. Let's repaint this a little bit. Let's bring this down out of that. Take that away. Oh, I think I just erased it. Dang it. Oh, there we go. Okay. You got to deselect. I got it. Okay, okay. Well, I think I just canceled it anyway, so we'll set a new one. Oh, I didn't cancel. It's still there. Okay. Interesting. Accept. Let's double check that. No, it did cancel it because the animals aren't there. That's okay. We'll just reset them. It was the dogs and the pasture animals. There we go. Excellent. All right, so that is set. And again, it's not a very big spot, but I don't think they need a ton of room to pasture there. It's just they kind of wander off because they're not caged in. Eventually, whoops, sorry. I'm going to zoom out. Eventually, I will do some walls. As I mentioned this in the first episode, we'll probably cut back some of this. I'll have the dwarves carve this a bit so we can get the, the walls up. And we'll do a couple of layers high, too. I'll go up a few Z levels, and maybe we'll even have towers on the corner for archers and stuff to station in. Another thing I like to do sometimes if it's a large map is you can set up like a stationary tower, just like out here kind of in the wilderness, and dig an underground tunnel to it. So there's no outside entrance, you know what I'm saying? If your dwarves are stationed there, they have to travel underground to get to it. And it's just like this independent little structure out in the woods. I don't know why that always appeals to me doing that, but sometimes it gets burnt and destroyed, but hey, that's the name of the game. Well, guys, we have reached the end of this episode today. I really appreciate you stopping by and spending time with me here at the Dwarf Fortress World. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have a brand new episode up. And if you enjoy the content, hit like and subscribe for me. Also, there's a Discord and Twitter link down below. And guys, I will see you on the next episode.